Welcome to the FitPro Lead Gen podcast, where each Monday we bring you a brand new guest interview, and today we have another big one for you. But before we do dive into this week's guest interview, I just want to say a big thank you to LeadDeck for sponsoring these shows. LeadDeck is the all-in-one platform that helps you generate more leads and get more bookings. As usual, if you want to join in live with these guest interviews and ask questions to the guests themselves, then come and join us in the free Facebook group. In there, you'll be able to join in with these interviews and find a load more resources to help grow your fitness business. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's dive into this week's guest interview. I think we'll just go from this. Usually we have like an intro music and outro music, and we have loads of little jingles and stuff. Obviously, we can't do any of that today because we're doing it all on Zoom. Cool. Any specific questions you want me to ask that makes you sound like a genius?
I don't know, really. I haven't thought about that. Okay.
No, that's fine. And the main topic of today was all about trying to succeed online. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just building an online presence and growing a profile. Because I mean, in the last 3.5 years, I've grown my Instagram page from 1,800 followers to 300,000 followers.
Wow. Okay.
And that sort of subsidized my business. I own my own gym. I'm a former professional boxer. I'm a boxing coach now, and it just helps me to kind of make everything else a lot more functional.
Cool. No worries at all. Let's let's dive in. Let's not share any stories so I can kind of enjoy it as we're going through. Ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new guest interview. This week we have Matt all the way from snowy or sunny Hampshire. What is it with you right now?
Rainy, actually.
Rainy. If you're watching this like further down the line and not live, then it has been snowing here in the UK the last couple of days. We had a bit of snow in Cardiff. Have you had anything where you are?
We just had one day, and then the evening it rained, so the snow kind of dissipated, but it was nice while it was here.
Yeah, and that was the same here in Cardiff. It was here for one day, woke in the morning, wow, snow, and then by the evening the rain had come and washed it all away. Cool. Okay, today, quite an interesting one because we have lots of people coming on about business growth and paid marketing and other types of stuff. But from the intro then, we just chatted about going from almost like 0 on Instagram to over 300,000 and using that to help really with your fitness business. But before we do dive any of this, can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and how you got started in the fitness industry?
Okay, so I am my name's Matt Goddard. I run a business called The Boxing Locker. I am 32 years old. I'm a former professional boxer and now boxing border control licensed professional boxing trainer. I'm a qualified personal trainer. I've been in boxing since I was 11 years old. I was undefeated as a pro. I won national title as an amateur. My boxing career got cut short due to medical issues in 2014. And from there, I was already working part-time as a PT. I'd gained my qualifications sort of on the side while I was training. From there, I started working in 2015 full-time in my own space. This is the second incarnation of that gym that I'm in now. Yeah, everything's going from strength to strength with that side of things. I'm very busy. I'm looking to expand all the time. I train perhaps 250 different clients every week that come through the doors of the gym. That's including group sessions. So, there may be 15 people in the gym at one time. In 2018, August of 2018, I had 1,800 followers on my Instagram page. I decided to invest a bit of energy into growth there, and now I've got 302,000 as of this morning. And that sort of takes up a lot of time. I'm in the process of just recently started working on a YouTube page and kind of trying to grow a YouTube account as well. I got to 50-odd thousand followers on TikTok before I kind of scrapped that because I was a bit fed up with the process. And yeah, that's that for me, really.
So literally just saying those numbers, everyone's suddenly gone from, oh, who is this guy, to, whoa, pen and paper, let's go. How do we get to 200,000?
There we go.
So tell us a little bit about your studio then. So you're working out of somebody else's place initially, and then now you have your own place. Is that correct?
No, so initially I had a much smaller space. I started off in my own space. It was just much smaller, probably a third of the size of what I've got now. And it was just reasonably cheap rent, family friends, so they made it a bit easier for me. And it was just an opportunity to get started in my local area, kind of build up a client base. And yeah, 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, I opened the new gym because the building for the old gym got condemned. So I had no choice. Decided to go big. So go big or go home. So I went big, and yeah, everything's going really well here.
Nice. So tell us about it. Is it specifically to boxing only, or do you do other martial arts, or do you do other types of things, or is it mainly?
There's no other martial arts here. It's just boxing, but a large portion of my clients are here for fitness, not for boxing. I sometimes incorporate aspects of boxing training into what they're doing, but it's generally just fitness. I mean, I run boxing fitness classes, proper boxing competition classes. I run boot camps that's pure fitness. I run mixed classes. I run free kids classes for ages 5 to 15 years old. And then the rest of the days I'm here doing personal training sessions with clients who have a whole kind of a wide interest with regards to why they're training: fitness, weight loss, boxing for fitness, boxing for fun, all of that.
Okay, so someone's they're qualified PT, or they've got their own studio, and they want to maybe start doing a little bit of boxing or boxing coaching within their fitness business. How would you start promoting that and making people feel like it's not coming to get beaten up? They're coming to maybe do a little bit of self-defense and to really encourage people to come down and try it.
First and foremost, I like to use kind of testimonial type client statements and things. Use a lot of videos with my clients, and I just really make clear when people inquire with me that if they want to do boxing, it's not a case of they're going to be hit. It's just being really open, upfront, and transparent with them from the start, and making sure they understand that whatever training they're looking to do the sessions will be geared to that, and that you can pick up the skills of boxing and learn boxing without having to be hit. There's plenty of learning to be done, and plenty of ways to progress and grow without necessarily having to get in a boxing ring and have somebody lump you around the head for 12 rounds.
Nice. So you've got the studio, like we've got a massive Insta following, all this type of stuff, and you want to launch YouTube stuff. This seems like there's a lot of stuff going on. Do you have staff that help you along the way, or is it all just you?
It's essentially just me. My partner, she runs the admin side of the business. So she does all the accounts, and helps to manage my Facebook posts on social media, which I use to advertise what classes are on and stuff for local people, as opposed to using the Instagram, which I kind of keep separate. But everything else, YouTube, Instagram, all of the work, it's all just me at the moment. That's part of the expansion.
You must have no time for holidays or doing anything that you kind of want then.
Well, I've actually got I've got 2 young kids as well, so I'm pretty busy with them in any time that I'm not here. But yeah, I'm busy. I'm a very busy guy.
Okay, so let's because obviously we specialize in lead generation. How are you finding the task of getting leads, and what are the offers to kind of get people into your fitness business right now?
So what I've found over time is that valuing myself has helped a lot, and actually underselling myself has kind of diminished the potential for clients, because if you undersell yourself, people think that you're not very good. So first and foremost, I put my prices to a number that I think is manageable for people, but works for me to kind of be worth my time and my energy. And then within that, I then offer bulk bookings, bulk discount bookings of 10, 5 or 2 sessions that are discounted. I share that with my local. I mean, I have almost 3,000, no, over 3,000 kind of local people on my Facebook account that I use, advertise directly to them for bulk discounts. And then, to be honest, the greatest lead generator for me recently has just been through Instagram, because people message me every single day. Where are you based? How far away from me are you? Looking for training all the time. So, and that includes kind of professional athletes, actors, all sorts of people.
Okay, I don't want to get on Instagram just yet, because that's where everyone's going to be itching to learn how you did it. So you said you got to 50,000 on TikTok, is that correct?
I think last time I was on there, it was 53, 54,000.
And then you've stopped because you're not enjoying it. What does that kind of mean?
Well, I did that really quickly, by the way. It took me about 2 or 3 months to get to 50,000. And it was just a case of putting the content on there at first. But the problem is there has to be an element of interactivity with it. And I find it a lot easier to interact on Instagram because of the format, because of the manner in which you interact. Also, I think TikTok is a much younger market. And I think it's full of people who like to make bold assertions and kind of statements and question things all the time when they come from no real base of knowledge or understanding. I mean, don't get me wrong, that exists on Instagram, but on TikTok, it's just, I kind of got fed up with children that have never done what I've done or been where I've been, questioning everything that I was doing from a technical standpoint. And also the kind of monetization of TikTok for me seemed a lot more complex compared to the monetization of my Instagram. And yeah, it just seemed like too much effort on top of what I was already doing, and too much energy kind of needing to be sacrificed to really help it grow.
Okay, so we grew TikTok quite quickly, and then obviously you have this huge following on Instagram as well. Growing both, is it the same type of formula, or did TikTok require a different formula to what you've done on Instagram?
I would say the thing with TikTok was pure consistency. And actually, I think part of it was that quality of content doesn't really seem to matter so much on TikTok. It's more about just ensuring you're getting the content out there every day consistently. I was uploading 4 or 5 videos every single day. And half of it is stuff that I didn't really. This is the other thing. I mean, I wasn't in love with the content it was forcing me to put out, because it was forcing volume as opposed to quality. I was just kind of uploading anything I made. And that's not to say that it wasn't good from an information standpoint, but I take a lot of pride in the quality of the content I produce for Instagram. And so, I mean, on there, some of the videos that I've made have cleared 2 million views. And on TikTok, I mean, it was some of the content that was getting the most views was the stuff that I had the least kind of pride in. And that put me off as well.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works sometimes. So one more on TikTok then. Obviously, Instagram is a lot more pictures and stuff, where TikTok is purely videos. How much time was going into creating 4 or 5 videos a day to kind of, like you say, some were just getting them out there and some you worked hard on. So how long roughly would it take to get 4 or 5 videos done a day?
Well, the content I share or was sharing between Instagram and TikTok was essentially the same. But what I would do is I would usually spend about an hour a day just recording continuously. So I would set the camera up, record 10 different combinations on the punch bag, record 10 different technical tips, record 5 videos of me just doing some training, do a couple of kind of technical tutorials, try and make a couple of comedic type videos, and then just upload them. And then the other thing I did on TikTok was just to start recycling content, because after a month or so, most of the people seeing it have never seen any of the old content that you've shown anyway.
Interesting. So you would just go back and just repost, or just kind of have a new spin on it?
Exactly that.
And that's a big thing, especially obviously diving into YouTube. Now that is a major thing on YouTube, is having a look what's worked before, then creating an updated version of it, linking back to it, and then that will increase your views on that original video and the future one as well. Yeah.
That's a helpful tip. I'll remember that when I start making more YouTube videos.
No, that's okay. Cool. Okay. So let's dive into Instagram. And now, before we dive into the online aspect of running a fitness business, let's have a look at how Instagram has helped with your local business. How is it attracting people? How is it helping you sell your PT, your one-to-one, your classes and stuff at your studio?
From a kind of client generation perspective, I would say it's only really the boxing side of things that's grown, because my Instagram is exclusively boxing. Like I don't put out fitness content on Instagram. It's just boxing, boxing fitness, boxing technique. I've seen an uptake in class numbers, in people messaging me directly for boxing lessons, in professional boxers and amateur boxers contacting me to come down and train, and to come and train, actually to do those sessions. From a fitness perspective, from clients that are coming to me from fitness, that hasn't really been changed. I've got a very good reputation locally. I've been training people here for almost 10 years now. So it's kind of, I've got a very, very well-established client base in the area. And for me, it's what Instagram's done is helped me move more towards what I want to actually do, which is the boxing side of things. And so it's enabled me to transition quite smoothly from more fitness-based clients, which is where I was 5-6 years ago, to now having more boxing-based clients, or certainly boxing fitness over just general fitness. Okay. So I think that's the biggest benefit of my Instagram page from a local perspective. So
how are local people finding your Instagram account then? Because obviously we'll talk into how you're spreading it worldwide and getting people around the UK and around the world and stuff. But how are local people to Hook? I'm guessing that's where you're based, yeah? Yeah. How are local people to Hook finding your account, enjoying it, and then reaching it and coming down to you?
Generally, it's kind of word of mouth through an Instagram kind of means. It's sort of like one of my clients will like a few posts or comment, and then their friends will see that post, and then it just sort of expands through that way. Really, it's nothing deliberate or specific that I'm doing. It's just the kind of natural advantage of using Instagram properly. I come up on pretty much all local searches. So if you go on Instagram and search Hook, my gym will come up in the locations in there. Most people, when they come and train here, they tag themselves here. So that happens as well. That helps. People come put me in their story, or they put me in a post and tag me.
Can we just pause on that point then?
Of course, yeah.
How are you encouraging your clients to check in, to tag, to post about their time at the studio? Because that would be a lot of the big things. A lot of people who struggle to get people to leave reviews, get people to check in, get people to share what they do at their specific gym on their stories and stuff.
The primary thing that I've learned is that you should never be afraid to ask. All people can ever say is no. So I just say, "Oh, tag yourself in the gym," or "Oh, would you mind tagging yourself?" Or "Oh, if you're going to take a picture, can you please tag me when you post it? Tag the location." I just ask. Nice. And I ask if I can record content with them and then tag them in that content, so that then the same thing happens. Their friends see, they share to their story. It's really just a case of being brave and bold enough to just ask and have a go. As I said, the worst answer you can get is no thanks, and then it's done,
I think that is the big one, especially like even just for reviews. Everyone's just kind of too scared to ask, just in case they're going to say no. But then the best situation is going to say yes. The worst situation is no, or they just don't answer. So I'm guessing you just have to ask to make it easier for yourself.
To be honest with you, that's all I've ever found. I mean, I sometimes share on my Instagram or sometimes share on my Facebook requesting people to do a review, but it's much more effective to ask them directly, because it also, without being rude or overly aggressive about it, it kind of forces them into the position where they have to say yes, I will, or no, I won't. And when they say yes, they will, they know they're going to see you again, so they kind of feel obliged to make sure they do it, and generally they end up doing it as they're asked.
Nice. Okay, so I'm a complete beginner on Instagram. I'm always on it. I'm liking stuff, and I really need to kind of use this because like they've listened to this interview and they're like, oh, if Matt's able to do it, I should be able to do it, but I'm not sure where to get started. Where does one get started with Instagram to maybe get their first, I don't know, 1,000 followers?
Right, this is an interesting one because this is actually this is probably the thing where I'm going to have to go into a bit of an anecdote with this, because in 2018, August of 2018, I had 1,800 followers, and I went to Barcelona to visit a friend. My best friend lived in Barcelona. I went out to stay with him. We went to a hip hop night. Okay, so we went to the hip hop night was run by my friend's roommate, and there was a man there by the name of Chi Modu, who is was sadly passed away. God rest his soul, but he was essentially one of hip hop's greatest photographers. He's famous for having photographed essentially every picture you've ever seen of Tupac, and various other incredible artists across the US. Now, it just so happened because my friend's roommate was running the event, we got to go out with Chimodu after the event. Now, he had, at the time, I believe, 130,000 followers, something like that. And I thought, you don't get if you don't ask. So while we were sat down having a few drinks and just discussing things, I said to him, help me. How did you get such a great following, such a large following? Obviously, he's just posting pictures as well. There was no real kind of interactive content. And he just gave me a few bits of advice. First and foremost was integrity with the content you produce. Do what you want, not what other people want or what you think other people want. The second was optimize your content, which I then went into doing. I'll talk a bit more about this after the three things he said. And the third one was harass the kind of market. So everybody else that's doing what you're doing, like it. Everybody else that's commenting, like their pages, or prove that you have a common interest in trying to attract people to you through being so active. So I began doing that, and yeah, within a month, I'd cleared 5,000.
Wow.
By that Christmas, I was at about 15,000. And then the following year, I hit 100K.
Wow. Yeah. So let's break that down to a few things then. Number one was create content that you enjoy doing. But
Yeah.
let's say I'm quite a boring person. I wake up at 6 and do my first couple of clients, and I go home, have my dinner, then do a couple more clients, and that's it. I'm not an interesting person. How do I put content out that's interesting?
The thing is, I think there's a misconception that you have to appeal to the masses. And actually, I found I had a much greater success rate appealing to the niche. And for every type of person to produce content, there is a type of person that will want to watch them producing that kind of content. It's just about making sure you find a way of reaching that market. So if you were that person that you described, I would say after doing your 2 morning clients, pick an exercise that you took both of them clients through, demonstrate that exercise with perfect technique, do a breakdown of the technique in the caption, make sure the caption's super spicy, add in emojis, make it look attractive to the eye, select a industry-wide used 10 or 12 kind of hashtags in the caption, and then pick specific hashtags that are directly linked to what you're demonstrating, share it, put it on your story, ask your friends to like it, directly message all of your friends and say, oh, would you just mind liking this post? You can send them the link to the post. Family, friends, clients, everyone, just say, can you please like this post? And then share with people in the industry and just say, oh, I've just started posting. Would you mind checking it out? It only takes 1 or 2 people with a substantial following to like your post for it to give it a massive boost in the algorithm. And before you know it, you are far more visible.
Okay. So let's go to tip number 3, which was, it almost sounded like being just relentless. So when you said you have to like other people in your industry, so let's just say you will go and like Ricky Hatton's post and all these other boxing people's posts, so you keep popping up on their kind of news feeds and their followers feeds and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not so much that they notice you, it's that you will comment on every post, that you will like every post, that you will share to your story. And what happens is once you start interacting in the comments as well, and other people see your name consistently coming up, you have a kind of a popularity by nature of familiarity. People just keep seeing you, and so they think, oh, this page is obviously a serious page. They know what they're talking about, or they comment a lot. They're obviously into boxing. They'll look at your page. They might go straight off it, and then they see you a couple more times, and they look again. It purely down to kind of consistency of output and persistence with ensuring that you kind of don't take any breaks. I mean, I would say probably for 6 months, I would like between 50 and 100 pieces of content every day that were people who were doing exactly what I was doing, or trying to do what I was doing, maybe in different ways, or other boxing coaches, other boxing fitness professionals from all over the world. And it just one or two of those only have to follow you back or to like what you do, and as I said, massive algorithm boost.
Okay, so let's talk in time requirements then, because liking 50 to 100 posts and the commenting and the messaging back and all this type of stuff, roughly what we're talking? Are we talking an hour every day? Are we talking 2 hours? Are we talking just half an hour?
The reality is you get out what you put in. So, I mean, the way I did it was I would do 15 or 20 minutes every sort of 3 or 4 hours when I was back on my phone in between sessions, or before I went home from the gym, or in the evening before bed. And it doesn't necessarily have to be. In fact, it's probably more beneficial to disperse it through the day, because if you do it in one chunk, you're only going to get one block of content. Whereas if you disperse the output through the day, you're going to reach more people posting at different times.
Nice. Okay, so we talked earlier about you'd share the same stuff on Instagram to TikTok, which then kind of meant that was video based. But is that what we need to do? Do we need to do videos, or should we do pictures, or should we do carousels, or should we do question type posts where they've got a comment? What are do we need to do them all, or is there a specific one we should be aiming for?
So interestingly, the Instagram algorithm has been changed so much over the last 4 years or so that that the kind of content you're putting out is heading a bit more towards TikTok anyway. But initially, I would post a mix of pictures and videos, and then it just headed more and more towards videos as I realized that actually in my area, what people want to do is see the physical act of what I'm trying to teach. And a picture isn't enough, and it means that you get a lot more questions in response to the video, or you get a lot more commentators sort of speaking on what you've done, and so that gives the interactions a big boost. You get sort of shot skyward on the algorithm from that. You get a lot more likes from videos than you do from pictures, or on pictures rather. And the value of certain interactions is far greater. So shares and comments are much superior to likes. And I've kind of found over the last maybe year and a half, it's really heading towards shorter, faster content. I used to produce a lot of 10 videos in one post, with each video being a different demonstration. Now I combine those 10 videos into one video and post it as a reel. And I mean, my Instagram now looks a lot more like my TikTok page did, but just with better interactions.
Nice. Okay, so are we prioritizing content that we're putting out, or the engagement via liking, commenting, and interacting with other people's posts?
Well, I found that I completely ignored at the beginning. It was more about consistent output and just completely ignoring kind of what happened for a week or two. So, right. So I'm going to roll it back a little bit to the optimization point of the Instagram page, because this kind of ties nicely in with the question that you just said. Initially, when I set out to grow my Instagram page, what I had to do was I had to optimize and streamline the actual Instagram itself. So I had almost 2,000 posts on my Instagram page, all fitness, boxing, nutrition, every single bit of information that I had. I was like, oh, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that. And I stripped it back to approximately 15 posts. And they were the 15 most popular things that I had posted. And they were all boxing related. And that gave me the framework for the kind of content I wanted to produce. And it gave me the framework for the kind of content that people were legitimately interested in seeing. And so I produced content that I thought matched the structure and the framework of that interest. And it was things like, for example, in a boxing gym, I'm on a heavy bag and I'm going to say, right, we're going to do 10 jabs, 10 crosses, 10 that's a boxing fitness workout, do it 20 times. And then I would do a technique video, and then I would do a video on speeding up punches, just a variety of things around the subject of boxing. And every couple of weeks I would go back and delete anything that hadn't cleared the top 10 view number. So the top 10 most viewed videos that I'd posted, if it was outside of that, I'd get rid of it. And so the optimization process just continued again and again. And by get rid of it, I don't mean delete it forever. I would save it to then re-upload it at a later date. And basically the first year of content was an awful lot of just reusing content I'd already tried to post that for whatever reason hadn't necessarily kind of magnified in views or in likes. And it made a massive difference doing it like that.
So we need to kind of clear our Instagram and almost start again then? Is that kind of the gist of it?
It just depends on the engagement to post and followers ratio. So if I, at the time I had 1,800 followers, maybe even 1,500 for some of these videos. And the good content, the kind of best content I was producing might have had 100 likes. And then I posted a picture that got 1,800 likes, and that sort of started helping me to blow up. And then after that, it was kind of just making sure that when the algorithm viewed my page as a whole, it viewed it as successful in regards to the ratio of followers to likes or followers to views. And I know views are actually a lot more important now than likes, and they make a much bigger impact on how your content is blown up through the algorithm. So it's a case of just ensuring what content is doing best for you and trying to maintain the production of that kind of content as much as possible.
Nice. Okay. So we've got 15 topics, and I don't know much about boxing, so kind of bear with me here. But if you're doing a workout on a bag, there's going to be only a certain number of workouts that you can do on a bag, I'm guessing. So then you might feel like, oh, I'm just going to be repeating myself if I'm going to teach that thing again in 2 months' time, and I've got to keep doing it every 2 months. Is that okay to keep doing that same thing every couple of months, or do you have to come up with a brand new thing every single time?
Boxing's a bit of an interesting one because there's a multitude of different things you can do. So there's a lot of content to be produced. But what you find, I did a post on this the other day that's had 180,000 views already, actually. And it was a video of kind of, all at once, I did all of these kind of stupid drills that boxing coaches on Instagram give people that aren't real. Like, they're not things that real boxers do. And I recorded a 10-second video of me doing all of them at the same time, just looking like an idiot. And then I recorded a video of a legitimate bit of shadow boxing, which is where I'm kind of punching at a target in front, like an invisible target in front of me, an invisible opponent. And I said, this is what real boxers do versus what Instagram would have you believe boxers do. And actually, what you want to do is you need to decide whether what you're doing is producing content for the sake of growth only, or whether you're producing content with the idea of maintaining integrity within your genre or niche, you know. And for me, I could easily sell my soul tomorrow, record videos of me doing loads of stupid things that aren't real, and I'd probably hit 1 million followers. There's loads of guys on Instagram doing a similar thing to me that are in the 500,000-600,000 followers, almost at a million followers range, but they don't coach boxers, and no boxers do the things that they talk about doing. And for me, the integral part of my Instagram process was that it was going to help me grow to a position where I could have a more established boxing gym, as I've managed to do, and try and attract more professional athletes to work with, because my long-term goal is to train a world champion. So it kind of tied into that. But from a perspective of whether you should, I would suggest yes, there's nothing wrong with that, or just delete the old content and repost it again, or re-record the content in a better edited way. Kind of look at it from an analytical standpoint and say, this video sucks for these reasons. Be honest with yourself. Don't try and big yourself up. Be horrible. Go, that looks rubbish. That looks rubbish. I said that wrong. I did that wrong. Try and redo it again. Post it better. Delete the old one. See how it goes.
And we could go for hours with these type of questions. There's just loads coming into my head now, like different things. I've got one here, a big person. If one big celebrity or one big profile likes and comments, is that just going to explode your profile, is it?
Essentially, I mean, it's not quite as dramatic as you would think it is. But what I think the main thing about it is it gives you an element of credibility, because what you're doing appears to be popular enough for that person. And you know, the Instagram world, the TikTok world, it's all incredibly superficial, and the value of content is only in its popularity, unless you're doing what I do, which is essentially giving out legitimate information and trying to teach people something. And even that, you know, the minute a professional boxer comments on my page and goes, "Oh, this is brilliant," or likes a post or shares a post or follows me, it immediately gives me more credibility, and people in the boxing world then go, "Oh, this guy obviously knows what he's talking about, because, you know, so and so liked the post, and so followed him, and so." So yeah, I think that's the important thing from a credibility aspect. Even if it's just popular content, like if 1 million different kids see that Kim Kardashian has liked a dress, they all go, "Oh yeah," and they'll like the dress as well. And even if they don't like the dress, that's the kind of interaction level that we're at.
If they just liked your post, do you have to acknowledge them in the comments saying, hey, Matt, cheers for liking my post in the comments, or is that kind of a no?
I've done that a couple of times, but it doesn't really work out any better. Like, it doesn't magnify it in any way. Occasionally I will message them directly, which I think is a better route. I just say, "Look, thank you for liking this post. I really appreciate the support." You know, and then try and begin a kind of a rapport with them of some kind about, you know, generally the good thing about boxing is I can talk to them about boxing, so I can say that and then say, "Loved your last fight against blah, blah, blah. Thought you did this really well. Appreciate you coming to my page. Let me know if you want to have a bit more of a chat, or if there's anything you want to know."
I think it keeps coming back to this integrity thing that you keep mentioning. Then you're either in it to actually do the right thing, or you're doing it just for the kind of likes and the followers and stuff. Okay, 3 more questions then, otherwise I'll just keep adding to this list. The next one I've got then is optimizing your profile. So we've talked about optimizing your content and stuff, but if someone jumps on your profile and they read the bio and links and stuff, how important is that section to get right?
First and foremost is your profile picture. It's got to be cool. It's got to be something that that represents what you're trying to represent on your page. So for me, for years, I just had a picture of me topless, trying to look all hench and fitness pro, kind of stupid, which it did nothing for me really. It didn't tell anybody anything about me. It just made me look like another person on Instagram who was doing what all the other hundreds of thousands of people that lift a few weights do. and then I changed the picture to a picture of me boxing, and immediately that kind of signified to people when they came to my page, oh, this guy is a boxer or he has boxing experience. I changed my name to include boxing coach. I changed my bio to list my achievements. So I put 7-0 former professional boxer, qualified personal trainer. Recently, I've added in boxing board of control licensed coach. I've removed the PT aspect because, as I said, I'm trying to direct more of a boxing thing in there. And I've added the link in my bio is now to YouTube. It used to be to my website where I sell programs and plans. And the other thing is give away a lot of information without giving away too much information. So say something that is impressive and kind of encompasses a lot of different subjects without necessarily. So, for example, former pro boxer, I don't need to say much else without it saying a lot.
Yeah.
And same for I have boxing teacher or boxing coach in my page a lot with the emoji of books next to it, because it differentiates you from, I teach boxing. I'm a boxing coach. I'm a boxercise coach. I'm a PT. Try and make it attractive in that sense as well. So it gives people questions, not just answers.
Nice. Okay. You mentioned software to be creating your videos. Like you say, you might put a video out and you think, oh, video's terrible. I can redo that. What software are you using to create these better videos, these better images, these better types of content that you're putting out?
So this is a bit of a bad one from my perspective, but I've only ever used my iPhone. So everything that I have on Instagram, TikTok is only phone content. I don't record content for social media in any other way except YouTube, where I use a Canon, a proper camera. But what I've discovered is the depth of editing that you can do using social media itself. So a lot of the content I produce, anybody who's watching this, go over to my Instagram page, The Boxing Locker. You'll be able to see the manner in which I'll combine videos, cut videos, shorten videos, lengthen videos, slow videos, put captions, put titles, and all of that is just via Instagram. So I think a lot of it isn't necessarily the quality of the videography itself as much as it's the quality of the appearance and making it as interactive and clear to understand as possible. So, I'll post a video, for example, of me throwing a combination, and I'll say heavy bag combo. I'll throw the combo in regular speed. Underneath, I'll have the numerical combination. So like 1-1-2-1 would be double jab, cross jab. I'll post that video. But afterwards I'll have it in slow-mo, and then I'll have it fast again. And then all of a sudden you've got a 20-second video of a 2-second combination with a very clear description of what you're doing, with a caption underneath that says why it's a valuable thing. And then it looks like you've got some really cool looking content, but actually it took me 4 minutes to make and to post.
So just to confirm, you don't use any apps. It's just the native Instagram app that does all of this.
The only thing I use apps for is for YouTube videos. If I'm recording YouTube videos on my phone, I use an app called Splice, but I'm not affiliated to them. I don't get any money from them for saying that. But otherwise, I literally only use my phone for all the content I produce. And I actually have a really old iPhone, so I need to get a new one because the quality of the video is not great.
Okay, final question then, and this probably is the biggest one for all of us in the fitness industry and self-employed world. The only reason we do all of this is to earn money.
Yep.
So how are you monetizing your Instagram account to how are you monetizing it?
Oh, sorry, I've just disappeared there. Am I back? Oh, yeah,
You're
okay.
back. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Monetization has been a slow process. First and foremost, I look to interact with different companies whose gear that I liked. I used my following to acquire a massive discount. So I basically kitted out the gym essentially free of charge through companies that obviously then feature in my videos. Some of those companies I had affiliate deals with. So I would get commission from sales, and I still have a couple of those. I got a full sponsorship deal from a company called Venom, who are the sponsors of the UFC. And I had a 2-year deal with them. They paid me monthly. They sent me free stuff quarterly. And that deal recently ended, and I set up a deal with a new company, a new company in the US that have just established themselves. And that's the same kind of deal. They send me free equipment and they pay me monthly. I have a subscription page on my Instagram, which I'm not sure how many followers you have to get, but now people can subscribe directly to my Instagram to get exclusive content. That brings money in. I monetize stories and lives, so people can send me badges to give me money and support. I use links in my story to get as much business to places where I can earn more money, like affiliates, like my website where I sell programs, like my YouTube page. All of these kind of ties in. I use the links a lot in my stories. What else have I done? I think that's about it, really. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I tried to cover as many things as I could in a short period.
That's fine. So a lot of it comes then through affiliates and free stuff rather than people actually paying you directly. It comes from them buying stuff.
Well, a lot of that is a niche industry thing, because the boxing industry isn't enormously wealthy with regards to kind of pay. It's not like makeup, for example, where if I was posting makeup videos, Maybelline would give me £1 million to put my eyebrows on or something. Do you know what I mean? It's more
to know makeup that well.
No, well, neither do I. That's why I said Maybelline. I'm not even sure that's still a thing. It's so the companies in my industry, boxing specifically, are a lot more interested in getting something out of you on a regular basis. They'll give me, so for example, I've got gear from Venom that gave me bags. They gave me an affiliate link to that. If anybody bought any Venom equipment using my discount code, I got commission. But also they featured in essentially every video I made for that period of time. And that's the same thing now with the company I'm working with, Zero Fight Gear. I use their gloves in every video. I use their t-shirts. I'm wearing their jumpers, or that, you know what I mean? So the reward for them is in the consistency of visibility, rather than just in like, here, I'll give you 20 grand to record this video doing this. Because what people are interested in boxing is the quality and longevity of the equipment. So seeing one video isn't necessarily enough. I have been paid to record certain videos. People ask me to do things like, use our headphones in a video and we'll pay you 500 quid. And I don't do that. I've refused to do that. And I've always refused to do that because again, it comes back to that integrity thing. And I think if you dilute the quality of your content for the sake of earning more money, the quality of the content will be diminished, and then so will your potential for earnings, which is what I've found. That's pretty much it on that.
Wow, okay. I've asked a load of questions, and we always generally finish these episodes off by handing it over to you. Is there any specific questions you think that we didn't ask that you think we should have asked?
Oh, goodness. Not really. I think we covered everything pretty well with regards to all of the kind of subjects that we could go through for social media and business for social media and stuff.
Right.
All I would say, the only thing I didn't really go into is, aside from those three things, I had a real process that I followed to kind of transform my Instagram page into what it was. And I'll just go through that really quickly for you. So first and foremost, I cleared it. Secondly, I transformed the posts that I retained by changing the captions to make them all appear nice. So a consistent title, an emoji with a description of what I was doing, and obviously relevant emoji, so a boxing glove or a brain or a book, something like that, with the same caption set up on the hashtags and how it looks. Anybody that hasn't seen my Instagram, go over and look at that now, and you'll see what I mean by that. There's a real continuity in each post. The third thing was to, as I said, like as many different people as I could. And that comes down to as well who you follow. So I unfollowed everyone that wasn't relative to the content that I was producing. So now I only follow 400 people, and I all of those are in boxing or are in some way interacting with the business. So like train with me, for example. So I post content of them. So it's beneficial to have them that I follow. The other thing was to set up a content plan. Now, this is really important because I didn't mention this, but every day I would have a list of 10, potentially 10 videos that I had to get recorded for that day for my Instagram. And writing it down gives you a real good direction. It's very much like a script. I'm not writing a script, but I'm saying I'm going to record a video doing this. And because you have direction, you don't kind of flounder about doing nothing and then end up with something that's sort of subpar because you just recorded whatever you could, which was the problem I had with TikTok. It was almost impossible to plan enough content. So planning out content is a real big help. And then it also gives you a good perspective of what's successful, because you see from the plan where you got lots of views and where you didn't, and that enables you to kind of produce more of that. So that's all I would add. Otherwise, I think we pretty much covered everything, mate.
I think everyone's scrambling notes down, trying to remember all this. But yeah, like I say, just come back and watch his episodes again. So you've actually got a little offer for everybody that was listening or watching along today, haven't you?
Yes, that is on my website. I've got you can. Now I've forgotten the code. Now I've said all that. I've talked about too much. I've forgotten everything.
Locker.
That's right. On my Instagram, sorry, I've got a code for all gear that is 0 fight gear. So if you head to my Instagram and head over to the company that are tagged and everything, you can use the code The Boxing Locker, and that gives you 20% off all of their gear. I lost track so much when I was talking about that stuff. I completely lost where we were. Yeah, there's 0 fight gear, 20% off everything. There's other codes on my page as well. So if you want to get money off, and also don't forget that if you are local to the area, you can head over to my booking account, which is on my Facebook page. If you don't follow me on Facebook, do, and you can book through there using buying packages, getting massive discount on all your sessions as well.
Matt, I appreciate you coming on today. For anybody who is unsure, how can they find you on Facebook and Instagram one more time?
Just Facebook, The Boxing Locker, Instagram, The Boxing Locker, YouTube as well. Please do subscribe to me on YouTube, The Boxing Locker. TikTok, I'm still on there. I don't use it, but I'm still on there, and I occasionally pop back on to see what's going on. So you can find me at The Boxing Locker pretty much everywhere. And if you can't do that, just type in Matt Goddard, and generally it comes up within the first sort of few people.
Matt, I appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming on. Everybody's probably there now, scrambling notes, recording, and trying to figure out how they can get to 300,000 quite quick as well. But no, I appreciate you coming on today, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on another guest interview. Each and every Monday, we try and bring you a brand new guest interview to help you grow and scale your fitness business. As usual, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe below. And if you want to watch these interviews live and ask questions, then come and join us inside the 3 Facebook group. I'll speak to you all next week. Cheers.